Welcome back. So today for our Algebra 1 lesson, we're going to be looking at writing a problem-solving plan. So this is what you guys all hate, word problems, but we're going to give you some strategies to help you to better carry out a plan and be able to solve these problems successfully. Because we do know that these are the kind of problems that they put on SATs, ACTs, and all the testing that you have to do. So step one is to understand the problem. So you want to read the problem carefully, so don't just see a word problem and say, oh, I'm not doing it, it's too hard. You got to actually take the time to read it and then identify what you know and what you need to find out. Step two, devise a plan. So decide an approach to solving the problem. So whether that's, okay, I'm going to write an equation and solve for the variable, I'm going to graph it, I'm going to draw a diagram, whatever plan you're going to do. Step three is you carry out your plan. Try a new approach if the first one isn't successful. So don't just give up if you try one thing and it's not working out. Think about what else you could do. And then step four is to look back. So it's always a good idea to check your answer, or at the minimum, think about if it's reasonable. So for example, if I am solving an area problem and I get a negative number, that's not reasonable because there's not going to be a negative area. So let's fill this out, carry out a plan, and then look back. Okay, so we're going to do two examples together, and then I'm going to leave one for you to try on your own and check your work on Google Classroom. So our problem, you have $7 to buy orange juice and bagels at a store. A container of juice costs $1.25 and a bagel costs 75 cents. If you buy 2 containers of juice, how many bagels can you buy? So we just need to write down what we know. So we have $7. OJ is $1.25. We also know a bagel is 75 cents. And you bought 2 containers of OJ. And then we need to think about a plan. So I would probably write out an expression using what we learned from the last section, and then go ahead and solve that expression. So my plan is I'm going to write an expression and solve. Oh, and you know what? That's bad terminology. I mean an equation, because we're going to actually solve it, and there's going to be an equal sign. So my bad. I should have said equation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set this up. So I know that I started with $7. Okay. And then I bought 2 containers of orange juice. So minus 2 times the cost of orange juice, which is $1.25. And then I'm going to figure out what that's equal to. That comes out to $4.50. Okay, so then I always want to check what was the question. It's how many bagels can you buy? So we're not done. That just tells us how much money we have left. So to figure out how many bagels we can buy, we're going to have to take that amount and divide it by the cost of a bagel. So $4.50 divided by 75 cents. And that gives me 6. And then the last step is always to look back and make sure that your answer makes sense. So I got a positive answer, so that's a good sign, right? Because we don't want to end up with a negative number of bagels. And then I would just go back and think through it. So I would just go through it in my head. Okay, I had $7. I bought 2 things of orange juice that were $1.25 each. So that means that they were $2.50 total. So 7 minus 250 is 450. And then my question was, how many bagels can I buy? So I know a bagel is 75 cents. So I take 450 divided by 75 cents to get 6. That's it on that section. And then we're going to go ahead and turn the page and do one of those together. Okay, so on the back, all of these kind of relate to each other. So actually, I'm going to have you do number 2 on your own. Number 3 is a little different, so I want to make sure we do that one together. And just to get you started, so suppose in example 1, you have $12 and you decide to buy 3 containers of juice. How many bagels can you buy? So you're going to follow almost the same procedure, except for you're going to start off with 12 minus 3 times $1.25 to figure out how much money you have. And then you'll divide that amount by 75 cents. And the look back here for the previous question is they just want you to list the different amounts of bagels and how much it would cost total. So we know we started with $2.50 with that orange juice. So if I just bought 1 bagel, I'd only be adding 75 cents to that. And then if I bought 2, I could add 75 cents to that number. So that'd be $4. 3 would be $4.75. 4 would be $5.50. 5 would be $6.25. 6 would be $7, and then 7 would be $7.25. So because we had $7, 6 is the correct answer. I don't expect you to go that detailed to look back, but if you feel like you're struggling, that might be a good strategy. So example 2, go ahead and try on your own. Example 3 is a little different, so I want to make sure we do this together. So a formula is a mathematical equation to solve a specific type of problem. Okay, so a couple common formulas are temperature, converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So C is equal to 5/9, the difference of F minus 32. So C is Celsius, and F is Fahrenheit. So I'm sure you've seen that one in science class. Simple interest, I is equal to PR2. So I is your interest. P is your principal or your starting amount. R is your rate. And T is the amount of time. Distance traveled, this is another one you've probably seen in middle school science. D is equal to RT. D is distance. R is rate. T is time. Profit, P equals I minus E. So P is profit. I is income. E is expenses. So in example 1, the store where you bought the juice and bagels had an income of $7 from your purchase. The profit the store made from your purchase is $2.50. Find the store's expenses for the juice and the bagels. So we know that we're going to be using the equation P equals I minus E. So they told us that the profit is $2.50. So I'm going to say $2.50 equals, and then our income, so they made $7 because we paid them $7 minus the expenses, which we don't know. And that's the question, is what are the expenses? So then we would have to go through and simplify this. This one gets a little messy because we're going to have to subtract 7 on both sides. So when you do that, you get negative 4.5 equals negative E. And then you divide by negative 1. So that would give us $4.50 is equal to the expenses. And that is it for today's lesson. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.